A great center iceman will face it off here. Chris Marinucci for Grand Rapids and Steve Magnuson, number 5 for Anoka. He got the game-winning goal against the South St. Paul Packers yesterday. And from the face-off, Anoka clears it down into Grand Rapids territory. Tony Retka back to get it there for the Indians. And they try to pin it up against the glass and do for a face-off 15 seconds into the game.
The more face-offs Anoka can take in the Grand Rapids area in the first 3-4 minutes of the game, the more it's going to help them. This maybe can quiet Rapids down. It could give Anoka some confidence that they could play real good against this team.
Kuzi, Marinucci, and Wilson. That was the line that clicked for the overtime goal yesterday. But right now, Anoka on the attack. In behind the goal is McAllister. And now it comes out. And here come the Grand Rapids Indians. This is Kuzi into the zone. His shot is blocked, and Anoka starts back. Good skating start. Here is Magnuson with the big shot, and Houston called upon to make the first important save of the game.
Well, that's Anoka's scoring leader, Steve Magnuson. He's got 18 goals and 30 assists during the year, and he's a fellow that is always dangerous out there. Looking at the games through the sectionals, Matt, he picked up more points. He ends up with 54 coming in, and he's a fellow that Anoka's going to look for to lead the offense today, and one that's very dangerous for Grand Rapids to contain.
Hollum, Roy, and Nielsen now go out for Grand Rapids. Nick Palumbo on the face-off, and it slides right to Houston. That's Tom Worley with the outlet pass. Palumbo takes his man to the boards, and Johnson brings it back in. That was broken up by Hollum. And now it's Chris Beltier across to Worley. Ahead to Hollum off his skate. He chases after it. Chad Abram on the far side, and Johnson was belted. Good hit there. Johnson gets up, takes his man out of the play, and picks up the puck against the far boards. Puts it behind the net. Beltier takes his man to the glass. Puck is still loose, however. That's Palumbo after it. Now Johnson gives chase as the Tornadoes try to take it to Grand Rapids in the opening minutes of this game. Cleared back in by Tyler Echternock. And a line change for the Tornadoes. Chris Beltier knocked right down. Indians try to maintain possession, but you can tell the Anoka Tornadoes are fired up to start this game.
One thing they have to do is use that size of theirs. Anoka's got 9 players, 6 feet or bigger. Grand Rapids only has 5.
Here's David Myers over the line, and he took a hit from Brian Knobs. That's Knobs in his own zone, clearing it around behind the goal. That's Retka up on the far boards, and out they come. It's Mike Earhart out to center ice. Earhart hits the line. His shot hit a leg and rolled through on goaltender Flint. We played 2 minutes, 15 seconds of the opening period. And it's Beisel sending it down into Grand Rapids territory. Puck kept in by Ryman. There's a shot, and that was just off the mark. Retka out at center ice, and Ryman there wearing 16 for this game. He wore 12 in the dark maroon jerseys for Anoka yesterday. Ryman goes down in the corner, trying to kick it free, and now it's Magnuson out to Beisel. McAllister, well, he tried to hit McAllister, but the puck went behind him and down the ice. Here's a loose puck. McAllister picked it up, but icing or offside is the call. And with the score, Anoka nothing, Grand Rapids nothing. This is Hockey 90, live from the St. Paul Civic Center.
I'm not Kuppenheimer.
I'm not Kuppenheimer.
Hey, don't look at me.
You gotta be kidding. I'm not Kuppenheimer.
I'm still not Kuppenheimer.
I'm not Kuppenheimer.
I'm not Kuppenheimer.
I'm not Kuppenheimer. How about you, Dad?
Holy cow, I'm not Kuppenheimer.
I'm not Kuppenheimer, nor have I ever been Kuppenheimer.
Well, I am Kuppenheimer. And when it comes to great suits at great prices, I'm the guy you're looking for. Kuppenheimer, America's #1 value clothier for men.
Chris, Anoka's got it off to a much better start today than they did yesterday against South St. Paul. They look a great deal sharper.
Greg Peterson clearing it in, and back to get it is Wilson. Cross-ice pass to Kuzi. His centering pass for Marinucci was broken up and cleared back in by Anoka. Well, it was the first game of the tournament yesterday. Maybe some nerves. Here's Magnuson with the steal. Magnuson on the backhand. Rolled it through the goal crease. McAllister after it. Cleared it around the boards. Jeff Wilson on the far side against Peterson, and now it comes out to Kuzi. 2-on-2 with Marinucci. They hit the line. Kuzi in, shoots, scores! First shot on goal, and it went through the pads of Adam Flint.
Well, Kuzi got a shot away from 30 feet, and actually he missed part of the shot. He didn't get it nearly as hard as he'd like to shoot it, yet it was enough to trickle through the pads of Flint. Kuzi taking that puck all the way up ice after getting a good outlet pass from the side from Wilson. So Kuzi got a big setup last night against Kennedy. Puts Grand Rapids on the board with this quick shot through the pads down low of Adam Flint. Just hit the inside of his pad and trickles in. So Wilson and Marinucci will get assists on that play. Good outlet pass from Wilson coming up the ice. If you look at it again, just beat him inside the skate.
Marinucci's third point of the tournament. Troy Kuzi, the goal scorer at .332, is 23rd of the year. And it's 1-0 Grand Rapids. Well, Flint looked very sharp yesterday, but he'd like to have that one back. Indians strike first after a good start by Anoka. Here's Vic Nielsen moving into the zone. There's a drop pass shot on goal, and Flint made the save there. Now the puck slides out to center ice, and Grand Rapids clears it in offside. 11:02 left, first period, 1-0 Indians.
Grand Rapids has got a real good scoring punch with Marinucci, Nielsen, and Kuzi. And Marinucci was the Iron Range scoring champ. He got great balance on that team.
Well, they had Marinucci and Nielsen playing together up until a few weeks ago, and decided for the sake of more scoring balance they would break those two up, and it certainly has worked for Grand Rapids. They can still play them together on power play situations, but they seem to be a deeper squad scoring with Nielsen on that second line.
And Wilson's come through with plenty of good plays for them. A big goal last night, a good assist right here. By moving it to the line, it gives them much better balance.
Puck outside the line, and now Johnson moves it in with Palumbo. Palumbo gets knocked down hard by Tony Retka. And it's David Hollum behind his net. Sends it out on the left side. Adam Roy off the boards. And Johnson knocks it back in. Now here's Retka. He fires it in right on Flint, who holds on for a faceoff. There's a break in the action, and we'll be right back with the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
You know what they say about GMC trucks, don't you?
Yep, it's not just a truck anymore.
What else is there to say?
How about this? See your Vikingland GMC truck dealer today.
I'd like to see Adam Flint get a few shots close in and make some saves. He looked a little nervous even on that long shot. He flinched somewhat, so just got to get his poise back to play like he did yesterday.
Now it's David Myers out for Anoka. Following up on the play, Schwallenberg, he went down. And turning with the puck is Mike Earhart. Earhart bumped by Myers, then takes a hit from Bart Johnson. And here come Anoka. Schwallenberg dueling for it. Put it out in front, and it's broken up. Kept in left side point, and a shot right on off the stick of Tyler Echternoff. Now out at center, Chad Abram clears it in, and offside is the call.
Well, Chris Beltier, number 21 on defense, threw a couple of good checks. First on the left side here, you see him tie up two Anoka players, and then on the far side, he did the same thing. There he was tying up Schwallenberg and Schwallenberg. On the far side, he needed another heavy check into David Myers.
Well, they've got the two big lines out now. Marinucci's for Grand Rapids and Magnuson for Anoka. There's a hit right into the penalty box area, and there will be a penalty. Well, they'll sort that out, and you heard the call. And it'll be Ryman going off with the score. Grand Rapids 1, Anoka nothing. This is Hockey 90, live from the St. Paul Civic Center.
Well, what can we do for you?
My name is John, and I'd like to explain.
When you go to some banks to borrow money, the way you're treated is almost criminal.
What do you want the money for?
Well, I'd like to buy a...
What makes you think we should give you the money?
Well, I thought you were the ones who had it. That's... What is this?
Just sign it.
But
Escape to TCF. We'll give you an answer within 8 hours on all kinds of loans.
How long will it take? We'll get back to you.
Well, Grand Rapids is going to get the opportunity to go in the power play. You see the first penalty of the night coming to Anoka. And Dan Ryman's got an interference call right in front of the penalty box.
Well, the Grand Rapids power play was a big story in their victory over Bloomington Kennedy yesterday. 2 goals in 3 chances. And here's Magnuson hauled down, and we won't see the power play for long. A hooking call coming up. And I believe it will be Adam Roy going to the box.
19,
And it is just 7 seconds after the power play began.
Those are penalties you hate to take. You take a hooking penalty in your own defensive zone when you're in the power play. Not a good penalty to take, especially when Grand Rapids had the opportunity to widen their lead. They're leading 1-0, 9:21 to go here in the first period. And Roy called shortly after Ryman goes off for Anoka. So the teams will play 4-a-side.
Bloomington Kennedy had given up just 2 power play goals all season long, and yesterday Grand Rapids, 2 of their 3 goals scored with the man advantage, but we won't get a power play opportunity here. This is Peterson centering it, and he handed it right to Troy Kuzi, and out he comes with Marinucci. 4-on-4 hockey. Marinucci takes a hit. And now Peterson starts back with Magnuson. They hit the line, and you could tell Magnuson was in ahead of the play.
Magnuson a little too anxious there. Peterson come along the blue line. He made a fake right before the blue line. Really should get over that line and get control of the zone. But he made the fake, and Peterson just hesitated long enough to send Magnuson offside.
Well, they're working on the ice in front of the penalty box. There's a break in the action. We'll be right back with the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
Find out how far your money can go at TCF Bank and earn low one-way airfares on Midway Airlines. Contact TCF for details.
As we're looking at the ice being repaired, Chris, up to this point, there's almost 7 minutes gone in the period. Grand Rapids has not looked nearly as sharp as they did last night. Their passing's not good, even when he had the opportunity of 4-on-4 to get some open ice, which should really help them. And you've got people like Marinucci on that team, and Kuzi and Nielsen, Wilson that can skate in open areas. They should handle the puck a lot better than they have thus far. Anoka playing with a great deal of confidence. Boys, they actually have played far better than they did yesterday against South St. Paul. And even though they're trailing 1-0, they haven't given Grand Rapids any opportunities at all to score some goals. Grand Rapids scoring on that one long shot by Kuzi that trickled through Flynn's pad. But overall, Anoka's got to be pleased with the way they're playing thus far. As we look at Coach Lynn Ellenson from Grand Rapids, you know, this Grand Rapids team had 10 players in the 1987 state championship that beat Roseau, and now we look at the ones returning from last season in this hockey club. It's a pretty good group of players there, all 5 key individuals from the Grand Rapids team.
I remember Marinucci from '88. He had a goal and 5 assists. They lost that heartbreaker in the opening game against Jefferson, 5-4 in overtime, and they were free to admit they were a little concerned when the game got to overtime yesterday, and they felt that history might repeat itself. Especially when Adam Roy took a penalty in overtime, but they didn't allow Kennedy a shot on goal in that power play in sudden death. And right after that, they scored.
As you said at the top of the show, maybe the way Anoka played against this club early in the year has certainly had a positive effect for Anoka and a negative one for Grand Rapids, because Anoka thus far has played better than the Rapids have.
There's a chance as Kuzi puts it in front for Marinucci. Marinucci feeds it to the point. Retka with the shot, hits something in front. Now comes back to the point, and out comes McAllister. Dan McAllister's sharp angle shot, and Houston gloves it easily. As they go end to end, 4 skaters aside.
And we've got almost a full minute remaining on both penalties. And that's something that Grand Rapids should take advantage of. However, Anoka's got some good skaters and talented individuals up front, most notably Steve Magnuson. They've got some speed. The fellow to watch is number 5, Steve Magnuson for Anoka. He gets a hold of that puck. He's got good moves with it.
Magnuson loses that draw. The puck cleared around the boards. Wilson on the far side. In the middle it goes, and this is Jeff Nielsen. He's got a big shot. Nielsen fired it, and that didn't miss by too much. Working in is Beltier. Beltier is checked as he pinches in. And the puck is iced by Anoka. The two teams playing at even strength, and icing is the call.
Jeff Nielsen, playing on the right side for Grand Rapids, is an extremely fast skater. In fact, people up there say he's the fastest skater Grand Rapids has had since Gary DeGryer, who's now assistant coach and played in the 1978 team. Nielsen's had a great season, 31 goals, 21 assists, and he was a state AA golf champ 2 years ago.
I hear that Lynn Ellingson's a pretty good golfer too, and they pair up, and well, you better be careful if you're going to have a golfing match with the guys from Grand Rapids, that's for sure. Here's Magnuson breaking in. Peterson, and he didn't miss by much as he went for the far corner. There's a shot deflected by Peterson, and Houston got a piece of it. Good pressure here. There's another shot off the target. Magnuson went after it, but the puck now comes out to center ice, and here's Jeff Nielsen working back in the zone. Fires. Flint got the pad on that. Beisel just cleared it away, and it's kept in by Rutka. His shot deflects wide of the goal. Nielsen behind the net. Takes a look. And is checked on the play. Anoka returns to full strength, and in 3 seconds, so will Grand Rapids. But we've got another penalty coming up. And I believe it's Nielsen going off for slashing. So we will now see a power play for the Anoka Tornadoes.
Anoka getting a chance to tie this game, trailing winning 1-0 with 7:21 to go in this first period. Anoka on the first power play. Steve Magnuson getting chopped right here and going down. I'm sure that they'd like to keep Magnuson out on the ice. He's been out for the last minute. He's always dangerous on there. He's got good stamina. You could expect to see him back pretty quickly. But Grand Rapids leading 1-0, 7:21 to go.
Tornadoes 1 for 5 on the power play in the tournament. The Indians have killed off all 5 shorthanded situations, and here they go to the attack. Marinucci rolls it in front of the net, and now it's Ryman behind the goal as they set up this power play. Palumbo, Bender, and Johnson are up front. Ryman fires it in. Palumbo goes after it, couldn't control, comes back to Ryman, wrist shot, and a toe save by Houston, who kicks it over the glass.
Anoka coming right back, probably with Magnuson's line, I would think. They see a lot of ice time.
6 minutes, 46 seconds to go here in the first period. 1-0 is the score in favor of Grand Rapids. Troy Kuzi's 23rd of the year from Wilson and Marinucci. But Anoka looking for the equalizer on the power play. 1:25 left in the Jeff Nielsen minor. And the puck is cleared down the ice. Got Matt Bender playing the point now. That's Bender with the puck, and out he comes. Cleared in by Peterson. He was knocked down. Magnuson in to get the puck. Number 5, Magnuson taken to the boards. Loose puck. Houston now clears it back into the corner. McAllister is bodied. Magnuson. He takes his man down. Peterson after it. And nobody can get control at this point. And now Grand Rapids comes out 2-on-2, killing the penalty. Adam Roy with the drop pass. It's centered in front. Roy dove for it, and he was taken down. Here comes another penalty. This one going against Anoka.
Well, each of these clubs has had the opportunity to have a power play and then took a penalty and just had it nullified. And we see another, probably a hooking penalty going to be called at this time. And Echternach's going to be going off for hooking. And now Grand Rapids will be able to play 4 against 4. And then in 41 seconds, they will have a power play. Each of the clubs just nullifying their own power play advantage.
So Tyler Echternach in the penalty box. Kelly Fairchild and Adam Roy were coming down on a 2-on-2 break, and Fairchild made the pass across. Roy went sprawling, and Echternach's in the penalty box.
41 seconds!
So 4-on-4 hockey again. We've seen a fair bit of this in the first period. Ryman passes it back. Wilson and Earhart are out on the ice for Grand Rapids. Here's a break. Johnson with the shot went well wide. Ryman steps into it and Didn't get much wood on that. Ryman goes down, but hooks the pass into Johnson. Johnson working against Retka, centers it. And up with the puck is Jeff Wilson. Watched by Johnson. Here's Wilson taking the return feed out to center ice. Wilson inside the zone. There's the shot, and Flint got his blocker on that. Now Jeff Nielsen is back on the ice, so it's a power play situation now for Grand Rapids, and what a hit in center ice as Johnson went down and his glove went flying. Here's Jeff Nielsen, checked on the play, and it's Ryman putting it into the center ice area for Johnson. Anoka clears it down into Grand Rapids territory. Under a minute to go in the power play, under 5 minutes remaining in period 1, and it's the Indians up 1-0. Kuzi on the far side. He is checked, and now it's Jeff Nielsen. 33 goals on the year. Nielsen stays with it against Magnuson. In to help out is Kuzi. Marinucci drops back to the point. He'll play the right point on this power play. In the corner for Nielsen. Roy's in front. They try to get it to him, and it'll come back to Marinucci. Here's Chris Marinucci. Down low to Roy. Tried to turn away from his check. Magnuson in to help out. Roy comes up with it. It's loose in front, and Peterson has it. Peterson knocks it to the open wing, but Marinucci comes across to keep it in. And finally, it comes out to center ice. And the two teams now both back at full strength as Anoka kills off the penalty. Here's Greg Peterson. 3 minutes, 52 seconds to go, first period. Peterson inside the line. Anoka on a line change, so Peterson's by himself. Stays with it, though. Good hustle. Dan McAllister behind the goal. He's knocked down. Adam Roy. Cross ice pass too far for Nielsen. He'll head to the bench on a line change. Tornadoes up the ice quickly. Here's McAllister. In it goes. Beisel overskated the puck as he was trying to set it up. Beisel goes after it again and clears it to the corner. Schwallenberg now out. McAllister had a man open in front. It was Johnson. Couldn't get him the puck. Now Bart Johnson takes Worley down. Tornadoes trying to forecheck Grand Rapids, but out come the Indians. Indians clearing it in as Earhart was knocked down. Earhart after it again against the boards. Kept in at the point by Nobbs. Nobbs took a shot from McAllister. Here's a chance and a shot by Fairchild right on. And Adam Flint holds on for a faceoff. There's a break in the action. We'll be right back with the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
We're inside a full-size conversion van from GMC Truck.
It's so nice, you don't even have to go anyplace to have a good time.
Except your Vikingland GMC Truck dealer.
Each of these clubs getting real physical at this time, especially Anoka. They're forechecking aggressively. They're throwing 2 and 3 men in. Both of the clubs starting to use their body. Look at Beisel. Put a check on Earhart. Earhart was actually going backwards, being checked from the side. Beisel's elbow caught him right under the jaw. But Anoka doing a real good job, especially in their forecheck. Grand Rapids not using their points nearly enough, especially in the power play. They have people like Marinucci back there, and they're taking Hoper passes from the corner into the slot area, and they could be moving it around out deep and having Marinucci either make a play or get a shot on net.
Now out breaks Palumbo. Back to Johnson. His shot is off the target. On the far side, it's Earhart. He was belted by Johnson, and Earhart shaken up a bit. He took quite a check, and he's just going to go to the bench.
Boy, he's taken 2 checks in the last 20 seconds. I'm sure he's wondering, are they after me? What's happening here?
There's Palumbo sidestepping a check from Beltier as he deflects it in. Comstock behind the goal. And Beltier looking for Marinucci. Marinucci sidesteps Johnson, and out comes Chris Marinucci into the zone with Wilson, and Marinucci's backhand is wide. Big number 9. Lost possession of the puck, and back comes Johnson. Check that. That's Palumbo on the ice. Palumbo taken out of the play. Here's a stolen puck and a chance. McAllister right on. Houston the save. It rolled up on his body, and he covers up as he was tested on that shot from Dan McAllister.
And Palumbo right on the doorstep waiting for a rebound. Made a fine play back deep in his own zone. Defensively, that's where Anoka's playing much better today than yesterday, helping out in their own zone. Here you see McAllister's shots. Houston makes a save, drops it, and then covers up on it to get the face-off. But Anoka doing an exceptional job down deep in their own zone, not allowing Grand Rapids players to free will with the puck, taking the body more effectively than they did yesterday against South St. Paul, and looking sharp in this period, even though they trail 1-0 with a minute and 44 to go in the period.
Hollum, Nielsen, and Roy are out there for Grand Rapids. 1 minute, 34 seconds to go. First period, Indians have a 1-0 lead in what's been a pretty evenly played first period. That's David Hollum up ahead to Jeff Nielsen. Nielsen, cross-ice pass. Adam Roy is on it. Roy with one move, trying to get by Ryman. Ryman wasn't fooled, and now Ryman up against Nielsen. Puck cleared back to the point. Nobbs is there. His shot deflected in front. Down was Adam Flint, but the puck was cleared to the corner. Nobbs keeps it in again. Under a minute to go here in the first period. Indians now applying pressure. Roy behind the goal. Puck cleared back to Nobbs at the right point. His shot doesn't get through. One of the defensemen for Anoka has lost his stick, and again Nobbs keeps it in. And the flip shot in on Adam Flint, covered easily. And we have a face-off with 43 seconds remaining in the first period.
Good control by Grand Rapids in the offensive zone there. They had the puck, they were moving it around, but Anoka still doing a good job around the net. Didn't give Grand Rapids any fine opportunities from in close. The only shot was from far out. As a matter of fact, Grand Rapids almost got caught there. McAllister had two people breaking up ahead. He just wheeled and fired off the boards right into the Grand Rapids defenseman. Had he made an outlet pass, it would have been a 2-on-1 for Anoka.
Earhart wins the draw back to Beltier. There's the shot through traffic, and it was right on Adam Flint. And a pile up in front of the Anoka goaltender. I think Flint is back in the game after that shaky start.
He certainly is. Good shot by Redka from the point. He kept it low, got it towards the net. He puts it on the net, and that's what you want to do, because a rebound could come loose. Puck might deflect and go in. The main thing is it gets the opposition rattled with that puck line there.
There's Beltier, and the shot sailed wide. On the other side, Worley chopped at it, goes high in the air, comes down in the corner. And the Tornadoes get it outside the line. Worley clears it back in, and offside the call as the shot went right on goaltender Flint.
Well, 25 seconds to go in the first period. As you said, Chris, a pretty even period. Although I think Anoka's got to be buoyed by the period thus far. They're playing the type of game they want to play. It's a low-scoring game. They're not giving up many opportunities, and they have been aggressive forechecking, and they're going to create some opportunities for themselves. They're moving the puck better than they did yesterday. Their passing still can get better, but it's a lot, crisper and clearer than they did against South St. Paul. They're making some outlet passes sharper than they did.
Notice with 25 seconds to go, both teams get the big line out for maybe one more chance before the period ends. That means Marinucci for Grand Rapids and Steve Magnuson's line for Anoka. Magnuson down deep behind his own goal. Up it goes. Hector Knox lead pass. That was cut off, and that will do it for period number one. And at the end, Ryman taken into the glass hard. An evenly played first period between these two teams. There's no question Grand Rapids came in as the heavy favorites, but maybe we'll have to reassess it after that first period because there wasn't much to choose but for a soft goal that Adam Flint would like to have over.
One thing somewhat surprising was a more physical period than we had seen each of the clubs play yesterday. Both of them using heavy hits and not afraid to use their body, checking more aggressively than yesterday. And overall, I'd have to say Anoka should come out of this period feeling real good about their chances. Going in, the heavy favorite by Grand Rapids, even though Anoka had played them pretty well early in the season. But overall, Anoka kept this period close and really had the kind of period that they wanted. Strong checking, no good opportunities for Grand Rapids, even though Grand Rapids is ahead 1-0.
Means we have a pretty good championship semifinal. shaping up here. Let's go down to sports control.
Louis, you're probably right. Anoka probably does feel pretty good about leading 1-0, but given the fact of how slow starting Grand Rapids has been, they must feel like they have a 5-0 lead considering the way they've played and falling behind Anoka 4-1 earlier this year. So I think they have to also be happy with at least getting out of there with a 1-0 lead, Ralph.
Yeah, I think, though, a lot of people that saw Anoka yesterday against South St. Paul would look at this and say this is not the same team, because there just was no flow at all to that game against the Packers.
Pace is much quicker today, and the hard hitting that we're seeing is, like Louis said, is something we didn't really expect today.
And I guess it's, I guess, kind of what we'd expect after seeing the Kennedy game yesterday with Grand Rapids.
Well, this is Hockey 90, continuing coverage of the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
Over here, 126,000 miles. Yeah. 16 Toyotas.
13 years.
10 years. Save 2,500. Right, Kate?
Might as well face it, you're addicted to love.
Quality, selection, and savings. It's all here at Menards. Save on the Bissell Carpet Machine Plus. Its deep cleaning action and powerful suction pulls out dirt and liquid on the spot. On sale, just $119. Sylvania light bulbs are on sale, too. Stock up now on soft white, energy pincher, and three-way bulbs. Inside frost bulbs are just 14 cents per bulb after mail-in rebate. Find bright ideas for your home at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Friday and Saturday, there is only one place to be, at Best Buy's Midnight Special. Because right up to midnight Friday and all day Saturday, you'll find incredible values in every department. Bargains that will make your wallet want to party. Like this RCA TV with MTS stereo sound for just $266.99. Or this Emerson cordless telephone for $39.99. Let your budget boogie Friday till 12 and all day Saturday with Best Buy's Midnight Special.
Particularly picky people do everything for picture-perfect soybeans. You pick at lamb's quarters and pesky pigweed and get pretty punchy pulling velvet meat. But now you can tank mix new Pinnacle herbicide. It's extra punch, pounds problem weeds to a pulp. New DuPont Pinnacle. The post picky people pick.
Grand Rapids leading Anoka 1-0 at the end of the first period, and Ralph had a chance to talk to Dave Stead, the executive director of the Minnesota State High School League. His wife, Kathy, has real divided loyalties in this game. She grew up in Grand Rapids and teaches 5th grade in the Anoka School District, so she's having a hard time today, if you could understand what she might be going through.
Let's see where Tony is. Tony.
Well, as you guys know, there are pro scouts crawling all over the place, not to mention college scouts, and one of the best anywhere now with the Philadelphia Flyers. Former Gopher, St. Paul Fighting Saints, North Stars coach, a front office person, all-around great hockey man, Glenn Sonmore. Glenn, welcome back.
Thanks, Tony. It's a pleasure to be here.
Boy, you've been down where it's sunny.
Yeah.
Look like $1 million.
We had our scouting meetings in Cancun.
Okay, Louis up there wants to hear it right now. How many prospects in Minnesota this year overall? What's the crop like?
It's an exceptional year. I think it's the best year I can remember in a half a dozen, Tony. There are legitimate, I think, half a dozen, 8 real early considerations besides some suspects, as you'd say, but some real good prospects. Some of them, of course, who don't get to the tournament.
Who are the guys who haven't made the tournament?
Well, the exceptional ones, in everybody's opinion, are the Muller kid from Wayzata, the Big Dietzig kid from Edison, kids like Craig Johnson from Hill Murray, the Tucker kid from Jefferson. Some of those young men didn't get here, and of course there are some, the Gotzeman kid from Roseau, and Billy Lund, despite a lack of size, because of superlative talent, is a consideration here, and a couple of kids on this Rapids team here too, Marinucci and the Nielsen kid. So it's a very, very good Minnesota crop this year, Tony.
Did you say to me before we went on the air one of the best ever?
Yes, I think it's as good as I can remember here. There isn't a Housley or you know, a Mike Ramsey or something like that in there, or a Broughton perhaps, but there's I think You know, for the last few years, Tony, we got tired of the real good American kids seem to be like Leach, and some of those kids all seem to be coming from Boston, Detroit, Chicago area. And this, to me, looks like a very good year for Minnesota kids.
Hope you brought a lot of money. The kids want a lot of money these days. Glenn Sommer, nice to see you.
Thank you, Tony. My pleasure.
Back to Sports Control.
Always a pleasure to see Glenn Sommer back in this building. And you talk about, there's always politics involved, too. The people in Grand Rapids can't believe that Marinucci nor Nielsen are nominated for Mr. Hockey this year. That tells you something about how good they are. But they have a pretty good teammate as well, Troy Kuzi. And Marinucci assisted on this goal. The only one of the game, and I'm sure Adam Flint would like to have this one back. A little shaky, didn't have good control of it at that point, went through the pads, and that gave Grand Rapids its 1-0 lead.
Well, Anoka did have a number of opportunities. Chad Houston came up big against Anoka's Dan McAllister here. There are shots like that the entire period, Mark, that could have just as easily found the mark, just like the Rapids goal, which was, I don't know if you'd call it suspect or call it a little tainted, but nonetheless, it is a goal, and it's 1-0. Anoka trailing the Rapids.
And as you take a look at the goalie saves, Houston with 6 for Grand Rapids and Flint 10 for Anoka. 1-0 Grand Rapids over Anoka. This is Hockey 90, continuing coverage of the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
You may like the way you look when you smoke, but have you ever stopped to think how you look to others?
Yellow tooth.
Just stink.
Disgusting.
Ew, gross. Oh, man, it stinks.
Sewer breath.
Yuck. Smells like a butt. It looks just slimy and gross. I just can't stand to be near it.
Find out how far your money can go at TCF. Just open or add to any qualifying account, and you're eligible for low one-way airfares on Midway Airlines. Like $69 to New York, $109 to Miami, and just $119 to Phoenix. Contact any TCF office or the connection for details and see how far your money can go.
In the 1990s, people will need more than just news.
At WCCO Television, we've listened to you.
And your concerns. Our Dimension segments will focus more clearly on news and information that matters to you.
News about education and the environment, about crime, drugs, and health.
Business and technology news. News that affects you and your family. News for the 90s.
News for you. At 10 o'clock in Dimension on Channel 4.
And welcome back to the St. Paul Civic Center. Ralph, we were talking about the Mr. Hockey Award. 5 nominations. Maybe the Grand Rapids people are a little upset that, as I mentioned, Marinucci or Nielsen not involved. But if you look at it, it's hard to argue with any of these 5.
You can't say any of those 5 should not be on the list, but maybe you could
Billy
add another 5.
That's right. Tommy Nevers of Edina, Mike Mueller, Glenn Sommer was referring to him, Joe Dijek of Edison, Craig Johnson of Hill Murray. The winner, by the way, will be announced this Sunday from those 5.
Those are 5 excellent hockey players.
Yeah.
It's similar to the situation that happened in 1970 when Edina is playing Southwest in the championship game. And Southwest wins it 1-0 in overtime. Brad Shelstad, the goaltender for Southwest, is not on the all-star team. And of course, they disbanded that idea.
That was the all-tournament team. I think they named it before that championship
prior
game.
To the championship game. Yeah.
Well, there's no question, as we all know by now, that the action on the ice in this tournament is always fast and furious. Well, the action in the stands, believe me, is just as intense for the pep bands who are here. And nowhere does it blow harder than in the middle of the Tornado Band section of Anoka.
On the ice, the players are fired up, thanks in part to the players in the pep band. Anoka's activity band does more than just play, though. It cheers, and loud. And it's the proudest group of kids you'll ever see. Just ask the trumpet section.
Because trumpets, we can project and show our school how great we are, Anoka!
The Anoka Tornadoes brought their winter activities band to the tournament, 68 members strong, all busting a gut or a drum to play their best.
Well, I can't be as wild as I want to be now, so I have 2 drums instead of 3.
This band is the best band in the state. Anything that blow in your face is the biggest rush you've ever had.
Crazy bands are common at any high school event. The state high school hockey tournament brings out the best.
We blow harder than any band in the state!
Well, I'll tell you what, the bands are right over our shoulders here, and it's Aspirin City. If you know, I don't think we have big enough earmuffs on, Mark.
What? I can't hear you.
Live from the St. Paul Civic Center, this is continuing coverage of the 1990 Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
This is the brand new 4-door Jimmy from GMC. What a perfect vehicle for your family. It's got a 4.3-liter engine for lots of get up and go and anti-lock brakes for lots of stop. Hey, it's got a door in the back, too. They should call it the 5-door Jimmy. Brothers, they always cause problems. Is this Jimmy at your dealers yet? Absolutely. You want a new 4-door Jimmy? Ask your Viking Land GMC truck dealer. They got one waiting for you.
Everybody knows that milk's for babies. Charming, disarming, whatever they do. Wouldn't you know it, baby? Milk's for you. Soft baby skin, strong baby bones, a bright baby smile, blue gray muscle tone. Wouldn't you know it, baby? Milk's for you. It's a health kick, baby.
It's here. $5 million worth of cars, trucks, and RVs. Auto Show 90 revs up at the new downtown Minneapolis Convention Center. Make tracks.
There's a radical new movement at Arby's. Arby's French Dip. 2 new roast beef sandwiches made just for dipping in our delicious beefy hot au jus. And now for a limited time, get Arby's French Dip or Arby's French Dip and Swiss, topped with melted Swiss and sauteed onions, each with a bag of fries for just $1.99. Come into Arby's today for a French Dip combo for $1.99 and join the movement. Taste the Arby's difference.
WCCO TV is your choice for news in the 90s. For innovative coverage of issues that affect the community. For up-to-the-minute weather and the best local sports coverage. WCCO News, #1 at noon, 5, 6, 10, and weekends, is your choice for news in the 90s. That's Landing, Sunday night at 10:35 on Channel 4.
Grand Rapids trying to become the first team since Grand Rapids made it to the finals back in 1980 when they won the state title. Let's go to Scott Reynolds and find out what's going on behind the scenes. Scott?
Grand Rapids coach Lynn Ellingson told me, Mark, that he thought his team just stood around and didn't pass the puck. He really chewed them out after the first period. Meanwhile, in the Anoka locker room, here's some of what Coach Rajanen told his Tornadoes.
Nice job. Hey, Grand Rapids isn't used to being ahead early. I used to be ahead early, all right? And they're trying to take slow shifts. Slow shifts. This is where our conditioning comes in, boys. Keep it going. So keep it going now. Keep it going.
Coach Rajanen also tried to fire his team up by saying that Grand Rapids is getting a little tired. Just when the official is ready to drop the puck, Grand Rapids is changing lines to delay the action a little longer. He says that's because they're getting tired, guys. It may not be true, but he's trying to psych his team up that maybe they're in a little better shape than the Indians. We'll find out as periods 2 and 3 come up, Mark.
Ralph, you know, you've watched Anoka play this year. They're 8-3 in 1-goal games this season, so they're used to being in situations
Yeah,
like
and that's what a lot of people thought, that the out-of-breath syndrome might hit the Northern teams. As of this point, it hasn't happened, but you heard what the feeling is at this point. We try to do the locker room interviews, of course, years ago with Lou Nanny, but we couldn't use them on the air. So, well, speaking of Lou, let's toss it back
never
up.
Said anything that was
Yes.
worth using.
Well, right now, Grand Rapids has got to feel a little frustrated. I know that they say they're a slow-starting team, but that period, Anoka using their body and the aggressive forecheck really kept them off balance. And I'm sure Anoka is feeling pretty good about where they're sitting right now, Chris.
Well, and it's going to be an interesting to watch the conditioning of the two teams. If Anoka believes they're in better shape, it might help spur them on, whether it's true or not. But there was concern concern about the northern teams playing in a warm building, and I think it's warmer today than it was yesterday.
Well, we're going to see shortly whether Grand Rapids is going to be able to use that speed they've got up front. Up to this point, people like Marinucci, Nielsen, Kuzi, Wilson, Roy, they've been somewhat slowed down. They haven't been able to freewheel like they're accustomed to and like they're very good at. But Anoka coming out with a strong game, especially from the defensemen. One fellow that we haven't talked too much about, was really giving him a good game back there, is Ryman. He's got great speed for a skater. He's got good size. He uses his body. He and Echternock were throwing some heavy checks on those Grand Rapids forwards.
And we're underway with the second period. 1-0 the Indians lead, and they have the puck as Kelly Fairchild clears it down into Anoka territory. That's Ryman with the puck, number 16, and he hands it away. Fairchild centered it in front, and now Anoka takes it and starts straight back. It's Magnuson at fine center ice, but here's a pass in front, and a big save by Houston off McAllister. Back to Ryman at the point. His shot, Houston down. There's a shot hit the side of the net as Magnuson came close after setting up McAllister moments earlier.
What a play by Magnuson, coming down. It looked like he was going to take the shot from the slot area, throws his defenseman, passed it over to McAllister, who made a good move on the goaltender, but Houston made a better move and made the save. Watch McAllister cut across, try to dump it in the net, but a good move by Houston, sliding across the crease to make the save, keeping this game 1-0 Grand Rapids.
Now Marinucci's line comes over the boards. Magnuson stays out for Anoka. But McAllister just raised that puck a little. Good play by Houston, though, as he put the pad down and got a piece of the McAllister shot. McAllister now clears it behind the goal. That's Chris Beltier to Tom Worley. Up on this left wing, broken up as Anoka keeps it in there, trying to apply the pressure. McAllister had Peterson in front. McAllister tries it again. And that was broken up, and back comes Grand Rapids as Marinucci at center ice got it ahead to Wilson with Kuzi. Here's Wilson on the backhand, and he was checked by Ryman. Wilson stays with it, and now Ryman up with it. Big Dan Ryman out at center ice, clearing it into Grand Rapids territory. Line change for Anoka. Fresh troops come over the boards, and it's Palumbo. Checked, and it's Marinucci coming back, clearing it right in on Flint. After it there, Chad Abram. He's double teamed by two Indians. Palumbo goes in to help out, and it's Marinucci with the puck. Chris Marinucci, he's tripped up, gets the puck to the point. They score! The shot went through traffic, and I'm not sure if anybody touched it or whether it went in clean from the point.
I think it went in clean from Brian Nobbs at the blue line. Marinucci made a good play. He wanted to come out to the middle. He saw he was checked, and he just dropped it back out to the point where Nobbs took the shot. And he had a screen in front with Kuzi right in front of the goaltender, Flint. I don't think Flint saw it. Here's a shot from Nobbs after he gets a pass from Marinucci. He's down low, and it might have even hit Marinucci in the leg. And you see right in front of the net a screen on Flint, and he couldn't see it. It might have hit Wilson. That shot could have hit Jeff Wilson, and Marinucci then would get an assist. And so would Nobbs for shooting the puck. We'll wait for the official scoring here. Probably Jeff Wilson for Marinucci and Nobbs.
He was the overtime hero yesterday, and Wilson gets the goal on the deflection. Marinucci and Nobbs get the assist. Marinucci has a pair of assists in the game, and it's a 2-0 Grand Rapids lead, and it's the same type of situation that occurred in the first period. A good start by Anoka, then a strange goal for the Indians, and they lead by 2, and here's a chance. Earhart drifted that shot over the crossbar. Now the Indians with a spark get it back to the point. This is Retka. His shot is knocked down in front as it hit a teammate. They get it back again to Retka at the point. He sidesteps one man, takes the shot. That hit a man in front, and we've got a penalty coming up against the Anoka Tornadoes. So with the score, Grand Rapids 2, Anoka nothing. This is Hockey 90, live from the St. Paul Civic Center.
addicted to love.
Tyler Echternock going off for interference, and Grand Rapids on the power play leading 2-0. 12:31 to go in the second period.
Grand Rapids 2 for 5 on the power play in the tournament. Anoka have killed off all 5 shorthanded situations they have faced. Greg Peterson out to kill the penalty along with Steve Magnuson, and Magnuson almost stole the puck. Marinucci having trouble with it against Magnuson at his own blue line, and Marinucci maintains possession. Up ahead it goes to Jeff Nielsen. Good speed. Nielsen in, and Flint with the stop, and he goes down as they pile up in the goal crease.
That great speed by Nielsen was enough to get him around the defenseman and break in on the net. Flint stood his ground. He didn't give him any angle to shoot at and made the save. But Nielsen's got excellent acceleration. He just takes off with that blue line. Just before that, he was able to get to the outside, lean in, protect the body, the puck with his body, and get the shot on net. Good save by Flint.
Adam Roy on the face-off against Brent Johnson, the elder Johnson brother, on the Anoka Tornadoes. Beisel around the boards, and Ryman finds a hole and gets it down the ice. Worley back into his own zone. Outstanding tennis player, Tom Worley. He mans 1 point, Marinucci the other, and here they come at center ice. The pass was behind Roy. He has to turn around to get it, and he'll backtrack. One of the co-captains of this Grand Rapids team, and right now he's being watched carefully by McAllister. Now it's Worley. Pass missed. Troy Kuzi, and now they clear it down, but right now the Indians having trouble setting up this power play. Well, Ryman's lost his stick. He's in some trouble. It comes back to Marinucci. Across to Worley. Setting up the shot, and it was blocked in front. Now behind the net for Roy. Being watched by Dan Ryman. Adam Roy takes a look, feeds the point. Marinucci to Worley. Worley's pass on this left side. It's Kuzi with it. Back to Worley. Across to Marinucci. Chris Marinucci sends it into the corner for Roy. Marinucci goes to the net. Flint is down. Puck still loose. Roy around the boards. Just 6 seconds left in the man advantage. Echternock standing at the penalty box ready to return. And here's a possible break. And it is offside the call. Play whistle down at the blue line.
Brent Johnson couldn't quite get to that puck quick enough to get it ahead of his teammate to prevent that offside. A good attempt. Ryman got it off the boards, up to Johnson, and he just couldn't quite get to it soon enough. But Grand Rapids with a few opportunities to score down deep by Marinucci, but Flint beat him. Those were the only close shots. Ryman made a good block on a shot from the blue line. Grand Rapids showing good control in the Anoka zone. Rapids is having more of a problem bringing the puck up ice in the power play than they are of moving it around once they gain the zone of Anoka.
Schwallenberg's line is out there now for Anoka. He's out with Bart Johnson, the younger Johnson brother. He has the puck now. And David Myers, Bart Johnson after it. Centered it in front, and back the other way come the Grand Rapids Indians. There's a pass on the near side for David Holm to Earhart, quarterback of their football team. Earhart, and now Holm taken down, and we've got another penalty coming up, and it will be Chad Abram going off for Anoka. With the score, Grand Rapids 2, Anoka nothing. This is Hockey 90, live from the St. Paul Civic Center.
It's here. $5 million worth of cars, trucks, and RVs. Auto Show 90 revs up at the new downtown Minneapolis Convention Center. Make tracks.
A season of big-time excitement continues as WCCO TV brings you March Madness. Stay with Channel 4 as we follow the Gophers and 63 other teams through the NCAA tournament. Big-time showtime, only on Channel 4.
Here's Chad Abram caught high sticking David Holm right in the corner, and Anoka getting another penalty. Grand Rapids back in a power play leading 2-0, 9:55 to go in the second period.
Interesting the way they set this power play up. Tom Worley, the defenseman, has gone down to play left wing, and Jeff Nielsen will take his spot on the left point. And I think they'll try to get the face-off back to Nielsen. Let's see what happens. Adam Roy on the draw. Well, they didn't quite get it back to Nielsen, but they did get a shot directed at the goal.
Some teams like to do that. They use a defenseman to block when they've got a real good shooter back in the slot area, and that's what they do with Worley. Block up front, and Nielsen in the slot area can let fly if they ever win that draw.
Oh, Worley now goes right in front of the net, so Worley stays on the forward line, and Marinucci and Nielsen forwards are manning the points here. After it's Kuzi in the corner. Kuzi bottles his man up. Worley tries to kick it free, and finally they work it out and put it right on the stick of Greg Peterson, who gets it down the ice.
This is where Anoka has been giving Grand Rapids some problems, not letting them come up ice that easily.
Tornadoes 6 for 6, killing penalties. And here's Peterson with the steal. Magnuson against the board, trying to come out in front. He's hauled down. And now back comes Grand Rapids. Worley clears it in. Beisel trying to get it out of there, and now he's going to hold it. Referee tries to get them to play on. Beisel falls down, and the puck cleared to the corner. Ryman with it now, and he rifles it down the ice.
Anoka's done a good job killing penalties thus far this afternoon.
Houston with the lead pass. Up to Adam Roy. Gets by McAllister, but loses possession. And the Tornadoes continue to do a good job of penalty killing. Down to 23 seconds to go in the man advantage. 8:15 left. Here in the second period, it's 2-0 Grand Rapids. Hector Knock took one swing at it, moves up, and now he's on the move inside the line. Shot goes off a leg into the corner. Hector Knock after it, takes a hit in the corner. Puck is kicked free. Hector Knock still after it, and Anoka's back at full strength. So the Tornadoes doing a fine job of killing that penalty. Really didn't allow a good scoring chance.
They're really aggressive up front, and they go right to the puck carrier. And Grand Rapids not passing that puck, making short passes coming out. Tried to outskate the Anoka forechecker and weren't able to do it often enough. Couldn't get the puck in the zone.
Tony Retka back into his own zone. Big Retka lost control of it. Here's a chance. Johnson digging down deep in the corner for it. Johnson centered it out in front. Bender was knocked down as he reached for it. Now we've got a... Bender lost his stick and tried to grab the defenseman's stick, Brian Knobs, and they're fighting over the same stick here. And there's another one lying in the corner. We have a penalty coming up, a break in the action. And we'll be right back with the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
This is the brand new four-door Jimmy from GMC. What a perfect vehicle for your family. You want a new four-door Jimmy? Ask your Viking Land GMC truck dealer.
We're going to have a double penalty here. You're going to see Magnuson and Knobs both getting a penalty. Magnuson's going to trip him, and Knobs is going to slash him. Magnuson didn't want to let him have his stick. There's the trip, and here's the slash.
And I'm not sure whose stick was whose.
Well, that was Knobs' stick, but Magnuson figures, you knocked it out of my hands, I want your stick. If he grabs it and uses it, he'd have to get a holding penalty.
Well, the two teams will now play 4 skaters aside. This is a situation where Anoka would like to have Magnuson on the ice to take advantage of that good skating room.
Boy, he's had a lot of ice time this afternoon, hasn't he, Chris?
Sure has. He's their key man up front. They've got David Myers and Nick Palumbo up front for Anoka. 6 minutes and 43 seconds to go, second period. Wilson drops it back. Worley moves it ahead. Up front, Marinucci and Wilson. Adam Flint leaves it for Beisel. Around the boards, Marinucci going after it, and he beat Ryman to it. There's Wilson turning. Beltier went to the bench and left that point position open, so kind of left Wilson without any options. Ryman takes a hit from Marinucci, who's forechecking, and out with it comes Andy Beisel. At center, clearing it down into Grand Rapids territory. 52 seconds to go in the penalties, and here's a lead pass for Marinucci. Marinucci hauled down. Chad Abram with the defensive play. Echternock. Tyler Echternock moves to center ice, inside the line. Takes the shot. Blocker save by Houston. McAllister just cleared it behind the goal, and now the Indians come up with it. Straight up the ice is Retka. On the left side, it goes to Kuzi. Kuzi breaking in! And a good poke check there by Adam Flint. Dangerous play by Kuzi. Now McAllister with Peterson, and they call it offside at the Indians' line.
Pass just a little behind Peterson and caused the offside. But we see Marinucci throwing some heavy checks out there. He's a big boy. Besides skating and passing that puck, he's not afraid to use his body. He threw a pretty good check on Chad Abram. But Grand Rapids now starting to flow with the puck a lot better than they did in that first period. Playing much better. Taking a look at some of those cheerleaders.
That's Chad Abram's sister who leads the cheering for Anoka. Saw the nice feature on the Abram family last night.
That's right. Her mother was a cheerleader when she was in high school.
Oh, they have another ice problem here as the temperatures get a little milder and the ice gets softer. That's Marinucci getting spun around, that time by Chad Abram.
It's a good little spin move he's got there, though. Abram's skates got caught up in with Marinucci's, but Marinucci, a good little move on the inside. The good hockey players, the people that can handle a puck, have a feel when someone's coming to check them. They can just lean away, you graze off their body. People like Gretzky, Neil Broughton, Savard, you think you got him and you don't have him. All you get is just a piece of him, or you get air. And fans say, why don't they hit that guy? Defensemen and forwards like to hit him, but they can't. They can't catch him with a handful of confetti sometimes.
Back it goes for Tom Worley in his own zone. There you see the time left here in the second period. 2-0. Grand Rapids has the lead. And I think this game has been closer than the score indicates. Icing is the call. There's a break in the action, and we'll be right back with the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
Miller High Life presents Minnesota's largest home and patio show, Wednesday, March 14th through Sunday, the 18th at the St. Paul Civic Center. The Home and Patio Show. Over 750 booths. Don't miss it.
This game has been much closer, Chris. Even though Rapids leads 2-0, the first goal was not a good goal. The second one's deflected, and Houston has looked sharper in the net today for Grand Rapids than he did yesterday in the game that they won in overtime.
Magnuson's line back out on the ice as Magnuson returns from the penalty box. He has the puck. Taking a look in front, McAllister was tied up. Now it comes back to Ryman. Ryman is hit and knocked down on the play, and Adam Roy gets it to the line, kept in. Well, Peterson brought it outside the line, and we've got a nice offside call. I thought they blew it down, but play continues, and Grand Rapids does get it outside the line. And here they come. This is Kuzi working in. Kuzi with the shot, and he just missed tucking it in. Now back the other way comes Peterson. Catching up is McAllister. Peterson flips it into the zone. McAllister's first to get it. McAllister draped against the boards. Magnuson in to help out, but the Indians come up with it, and they head back. Roy on the right side. Missed the return pass. Here's a shot by Knobs, and a good kick save by Adam Flint. Back the other way for Magnuson, and he is knocked down. Good check in the center ice area by Chris Marinucci. So one star center delivering a hit on the other star center iceman. Retka leaves it behind the net for Knobs. Interesting that those two defensive partners, as play is whistled down, are both planning to go to the Air Force Academy next year and hope to continue their hockey, so maybe there'll be a defensive pairing intact.
Well, besides having a good program out there, they get a great education. The facilities are superb. People that go to that Air Force Academy have a fine future ahead of them if they're ever successful in graduating and going through that program.
Marinucci on the face-off against Brent Johnson. Palumbo almost stole it. Now it comes across to Johnson. The shot. Rebound. Palumbo scores! And Anoka's on the board.
Palumbo was Johnny on the spot after that shot by Johnson. Rebound coming right out front, and he just put it away. Right after the faceoff, he went down to the net. A shot coming from up high from Johnson. You see it here. Pass across from Bender to Johnson, and Johnson shoots it. Look at the rebound right in front, and there's Palumbo just flipping that puck right over the fallen goaltender into the net. So Palumbo from Johnson and Bender. Bender set a good play up for Johnson to get that shot from the slot area, but there's that rebound. And Johnson making a good play getting that shot on net, allowing Palumbo to get the rebound and put it away.
It's the 13th goal of the year for Palumbo.
He's a clever little player, Chris. He's only 5'6", 145 pounds. But he plays a lot bigger than that.
Well, they say, in fact, Greg Rodgett told me yesterday, he plays, actually, his playing weight's about 125. I think they inflate the stats a bit, but he's playing big, and a huge goal for Anoka gets them right back in the hockey game. It's 2-1 late here in the second period. And they have some life now as McAllister heads inside the line, and offside is the call.
Magnuson's complaining to the official, but McAllister made a good move. He got over the line and he brought the puck back out. And McAllister was trying to fend off a check. And at that time, Magnuson just went offside. But Anoka seems fired up right now. They're trailing only 2-1, 3:18 to go in the second, and have played well this afternoon.
You saw McAllister, a junior, Palumbo, the goal scorer, a junior, 7 seniors, 10 juniors, and 3 sophomores for Anoka. So a team with a bright future as well. Grand Rapids, 11 seniors, 8 juniors, and a sophomore. 2-1 the score, and here they come, the Anoka Tornadoes. Magnuson to the line. That was broken up. Marinucci cleared it on the right side. They've got Nielsen and Marinucci together. Here's Marinucci in, right on, and Adam Flint made a key save, robbing Marinucci. There's a break in the action. We'll be right back with the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
This is the new 1991 Sonoma. It can carry or tow more than any pickup in its class. Hey, there's no other pickup in its class.
Nuts Landing.
Leading scorer, Chris Marinucci, coming down 2-on-1 with Wilson. Here's Marinucci with a shot. Flint making the good save. They keep this 2-1 for Grand Rapids, 2:53 to go. So he shuts down the leading scorer from the Iron Range Conference with a fine save.
Earhart wins the draw. Beltier winds up, and he drilled the shot high. Anoka clears out to center ice. Here comes Bart Johnson. Inside the line, Schwallenberg whistled the shot wide. Moving up, but fanning on it was Tyler Echternock, and it's out to center ice. Cleared right back in, and Bart Johnson's skipping in after it. Johnson hit against the boards by Beltier, and it's Earhart clearing it ahead. There's David Hollum in the center ice zone. Hollum hits the line. Takes the shot that hit Echternock in the ankle. Comes across, another big hit, but here comes Anoka. David Myers with Schwallenberg. Myers forced to the outside on a good defensive play, and here comes a penalty. And Anoka down by 1, I believe, will go on the power play. Tom Worley's going off, and this will give the Tornadoes an opportunity with the man advantage.
Worley for hooking with 2:03 to go in the second period. And Anoka trailing 2-1, getting the power play opportunity here to tie it. So watch behind the net as you see Worley going behind net, just pulling Johnson down there.
I think an announcer could get confused. Worley sounds like somebody who would play for the Tornadoes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, he's in the penalty box for Grand Rapids. 2:03 left. Second period. It's a 1-goal game, but the Tornadoes have a chance to get the equalizer. 1 for 6 on the power play in the state tournament. Grand Rapids hasn't given up a power play goal yet. Here's a chance for Magnuson, and it hit the top of the net. Magnuson came that close. And the Indians clear it down the ice. Adam Roy gives chase, and that brings Flint out of the net. There's a loose puck picked up by Kuzi, and he in turn is checked by Ryman. And Dan Ryman gets control. Here come the Tornadoes. Magnuson up to Peterson. There you see the time remaining, second period. Peterson drops it for Magnuson. Back to Ryman, moving in. Here's the shot right on, and Houston covers the rebound nicely.
And the Tornadoes are going to that net. When that shot comes from Ryman, they're all breaking for the net, hoping to get a rebound or lodge that puck free. Even Beisel, who was down deep, came in from the left side. But we'll look at Magnuson coming around the front. Watch this go right over top. The save is made. It goes right up over on top of the net. Close call for Grand Rapids. Anoka getting the opportunity to... The goalie's getting up slow after you see the last play. Everybody charging the net. Here's a shot from Ryman. And you see McAllister coming one side, Beisel coming from the top of your screen, and Magnuson plowing everybody into the goaltender. Goaltender just on his knees right now, shaking up a little bit.
Chad Houston has been shaken up. He is on his knees in the Grand Rapids goal. He was the workhorse this year, a record of 22-1. Randy Erickson is the backup. He's a senior who had a 3-0 record this season, but there's no doubt about it, Chad Houston is the #1 guy. Played all but 9 periods this season for Lynn Ellingson and the Indians.
Anoka playing with a great deal of determination right now. Seen an opportunity to tie this game. Certainly feeling very good about their performance thus far.
Well, it looks like Houston will be okay. We have 1:23 to go, second period. And here's what happened to the goaltender of Grand Rapids.
Well, the shot comes from Ryman, and everybody charges the net. McAllister, Beisel, and then Magnuson plows everybody into the goaltender, knocking McAllister right on top of him.
1:20 to go in the power play. And the Tornadoes have been close.
Looks like they're going to fix the ice again, Chris. I think the ice came apart along the boards down from Anoka's bench. Yeah.
That was an area that they did some repair work to yesterday. In fact, there are a number of areas along the boards where it seems those big hits seem to shake the boards loose enough that some of the ice just seems to pop away.
I think sometimes when you don't have ice in the building a lot, and you just have it occasionally, like they haven't had ice here for a while until the tournament, and the boards are set up. You make ice, sometimes there comes some weak spots where there's too much play along the board, there's some give, and that's how the ice sort of pops up. We had the same problem I saw in an exhibition game this year out in Dallas, and the U.S. select team played the Moscow team. All during the game was breaking up. They haven't had any ice there for a long time, for almost half a year since the skating show, and the ice continually broke up along the boards.
Greg Rajanen just hopes they can get it fixed up quick because his team has some momentum and has a power play late in the second period.
That's right. When you're coming with the kind of determination Anoka's been coming with late in this period, you hate to see the play stop. You feel you've got the opposition on the run, you're getting opportunities, you're moving the puck sharply. You don't like any slowdown of play. This certainly gives Grand Rapids penalty killers a chance to get a rest as well.
And we're ready to go now. Magnuson is out. Peterson will take the face-off. McAllister. And the pointmen are Ryman and Echternock. And from the draw, it goes to the corner. After it is Peterson, and they pile up again there and get another face-off.
One thing Anoka's been doing on their power play, they are getting the puck back to the blue lines. They're letting those pointmen shoot, and they're going to the net. The pointmen has got good shots. That can really loosen up Grand Rapids down in front of the net.
This time they get it back to Echternock. His shot is blocked and will come outside the line. Echternock clears it back in. Anoka tags up, and they'll go into forecheck. But the puck is sent into the penalty box area, and we'll have a face-off again in the Grand Rapids zone.
That's one thing Grand Rapids did not want to do, is take a whistle when you got control of the puck and you could get it down the ice. You don't want a face-off there, but Tony Redka went to shoot it off the glass, got it too far up ahead and put it right into the penalty box area.
Now Matt Bender goes to the bench, and Ryman is back on as a point man. And on this side of the ice, Magnuson takes the draw. Grand Rapids wins it, but it's kept in. Under a minute to go, second period. Here's McAllister, side of the net, scores! McAllister has tied it.
What a good play by Echternock, getting that puck down low to McAllister. McAllister's a left-hand shot. The pass goes back to Echternock. He sees McAllister and he feeds it down low. And McAllister, because he's left-hand, he comes out in front of the net and he's got a lot of shooting range. And at the same time, Ryman's breaking for the net on the right side. Here's McAllister coming out. And watch Ryman on the upper side. He's coming in. McAllister's got a lot of room to put it by the goaltender. So Echternock will get the assist. McAllister with the goal. Here he comes out of the corner to his forehand. And just reaches right around the goaltender, Houston, and ties his game. Key play by Echternock at the blue line, right there. Pointman sees him down deep and passes it right through the man. Good play.
Well, McAllister was the hero for this team in the sectionals. He scored the game-winning goal against Duluth East with a minute 56 to play, and then scored a shorthanded game winner against Roseville in the Section 2 final with a minute 38 to go. That put them in the state, and that goal by McAllister has tied this game. Here's Houston down, open net, and what a save! Houston stuck out the glove. How did he make that stop?
Actually, I'm telling you, that is as good a save as we've seen in the tournament for a long time. He gets it with his goal stick. He's reaching. Palumbo shoots the puck from a far angle, and Houston is down, and he reaches up. What a save. He makes the first save. He doesn't know where the puck is. He kicks it free, not knowing, and Palumbo's on the far side. Watch his goal stick. Look at this. Right out of the air. That puck was in the net. If he doesn't catch it with his goal stick. What a play by goaltender Houston. Never quits. Just knocks it right out of the air. Palumbo shaking his head after that one.
I can't imagine seeing a better save in the tournament. What a save by Houston, who would have been the GOAT had he not got the stick across, but that was just an impossible save. Under 30 seconds to go in what is turning out to be an exceptional semifinal. Anoka down by 2, but they've come back to tie it. Greg Rajanen told his team in the first intermission, stay with it. Play your own game. You can beat this team. Here's a lead pass, and Palumbo inside the line with the shot. Still wondering how Houston made the save on that last shot as the buzzer goes. And a big hit by Bender as the second period ends, and well, some feelings on either side, but this isn't the time to take a penalty.
Well, Bender really laid a heavy check on Redka right at the buzzer, and Anoka coming off, fired up.
Boy, are they ever. They just grabbed Palumbo, who was a little upset with one of the Grand Rapids players, and they literally carried Palumbo off the ice to make sure he didn't get into trouble. But there's no doubt about it. The momentum has swung in favor of the Anoka Tornadoes after 2 periods of play.
I think Palumbo was still upset from that save that Houston made on him. Anoka coming back to tie this game on a power play, had a great second period. They've had a fine game all the way through, playing the type of game they want, a low-scoring game. They aren't known for scoring many goals, and of course Grand Rapids heavily favored right now with a 2-2 tie at the end of 2 has to be talking to themselves.
Well, there's no doubt about it. In high school hockey, there's no such thing as a sure thing, and we're finding that out. Let's go down to sports control.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, Christy. The Anoka players are about 10 feet from us. Their locker room, they're just hollering and whooping it up as they're hitting into the locker room right now, Ralph.
Oh, you can see as they came off the ice. I have to give this my vote as the best period of hockey we've seen thus far. And we've had some excellent games.
Well, this Anoka team is very, as I mentioned before, they're really used to playing in close games. They're 8-3. They had the experience of playing a close game against Grand Rapids at Rapids. They led 4-1 in that game, lost 5-4, but this could be the upset so far, but we're a little ways away. Live from the St. Paul Civic Center, this is continuing coverage of the 1990 State High School Hockey Tournament.
It used to be when investors got into the stock market, they could almost plan on things going one way. But unfortunately, things don't always come out as planned. So if you're looking for an investment you can count on, come to TCF for a variety of insured savings plans that offer a guaranteed rate and keep yourself well covered.
Slipping and sliding is fine when you're on the ice playing hockey.
But not when you're on the road with your family.
That's why this new Safari is so great. Look, see this logo? It's got all-wheel drive.
So when you got to take your kids to hockey practice at 5 in the morning before the roads are plowed,
this GMC Safari will get you through no problem.
This GMC Safari could be the perfect family vehicle.
It's good looking, it's safe, it's got all-wheel drive.
And you can get one at your Vikingland GMC truck dealers.
Exercise facility is right at your feet.
You name it, South Dakota's got it.
They'll rip 100 yards of line off your reel so fast it'll make your head swim.
Yeah, there we go. That's what fly fishing's all about.
Welcome to Chantry Creek. This is a typical one out of here this morning.
Yeah, we thought we'd try to fill out our limit today, and if we were successful, why, we'll be back for trophy fish tomorrow.
For more information on South Dakota's outdoor opportunities and a free fishing weekend in Mobridge, call this number, 1-800-843-1930.
Yes, hold your breath. It's 2-2. Anoka coming back to tie Grand Rapids, and it is a real physical game, and even away from the camera angles, some of the stuff we haven't been able to pick up on has been very, very rough. And right now, it's up to the referees to try to keep control of it. Let's go down to Tony Parker with one of those men right now.
Well, Larry Dow, referee in this game. You didn't hear Mark Rosen, but he thinks this contest is rather physical. And how about your response to that?
Well, no more so than any game when you get this time of the tournament. They're all playing tough, and it's got a lot at stake.
You've been refereeing 20 years, I understand, Larry.
Yes.
How many tournaments for you?
This is my fourth.
Now, how do you rate this one for the others?
Oh, I think they're all pretty even. When you get down here, you get the last top eight teams. They're all good games.
All right, let me take the side of the officials, at least as far as the tournaments are concerned. It seems to me that when we get to this point, we have outstanding officiating from the standpoint of letting them play, not much, if any, controversy. Why is that?
Well, I think you've got the top 8 teams in the state. Hopefully you got some of the better officials, and the kids are out there to play hockey. We're trying to stay out of the way.
Larry, what about that one question everybody always talks about? Late in the game, a couple of minutes to go, maybe it's a 1-goal difference or a tie. Do the officials, in fact, are they in a situation where they'd rather not call one if they can, don't have to?
Well, you never want to call one if you don't have to, but when it's affecting the play, you've got no choice, whether it's the beginning of the game or the end of the game.
You don't mind taking the heat?
That's what we're here for.
Larry, thanks for taking time to talk to us.
You bet.
Larry Dow, the referee in the game, and Mark, he says everything's under control.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I don't know if you get that same opinion from some of the coaches sometimes, but of course that's the difference between coaches and referees, Ralph.
Well, I don't know. He says it's a game like any other, but it sure looks to us like it's a little more.
I'll tell you, they do a great job.
This guy right here.
They do a great job.
They do.
Keeping it going.
They do. Well, it was 2-0. Anoka trailed in that second period because Grand Rapids got this goal right here, Mark, from number 17 Jeff Wilson at 1:48 early, and it looked like it might be lights out. Tips in that shot by Brian Knobs.
Then the man of the period for Anoka, Nick Palumbo, 5'6", 145 pounds. The junior takes the shot on the rebound here, beating Houston, and that made it 2-1 as Anoka began its comeback.
They certainly did. Then it was on the power play after a beautiful pass here from the point. Number 19, Dan McAllister, gets the pass. There it is. He's open in the corner, and he just powers his way in, and zap, it's 2-2. After that beautiful pass from the point.
Then the save of the tournament, Chad Houston creating his own problems here, not controlling the rebound, but watch the stick. Oh, this one may have saved the game for Grand Rapids, and that's the way it stands right now. Saves were dead even in that second period, but Houston definitely had some, I would say, the tougher ones, although Adam Flint stopped Chris Marinucci point blank as well. So the goaltenders keeping their respective teams in this game, and what a great one it is. I think a lot of people felt Rapids would skate right through this Anoka team, Ralph.
What are the chances of that save making the Rapids highlight reel? Was that a save or was it? This is continuing coverage of the 1990 Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
Hey, check out these 3. What do you think of the one on the left?
Great. But I like him thinner.
Well, how about the one on the right?
Ooh, that looks
too thin. But how about the luscious one in the middle? Perfect. And we can share.
Only Pizza Hut offers deep pan, thin and crispy, and delicious hand-tossed.
Hi, I'm the luscious one in the middle. All right, maybe I'm not.
Pizza Hut, making it great.
Particularly picky people do everything for picture-perfect soybeans. You pick at lamb's quarters, and pesky pigweed, and get pretty punchy pulling velvet meat. But now you can tank mix new Pinnacle herbicide. It's extra punch, pounds problem weeds to a pulp. New DuPont Pinnacle. The post picky people pick.
Add style and beauty to your home with savings from Menard. All lock sets by Harlock are on sale. Choose one for your home. A brass passage lock set is $4.99, or this brass deadbolt for only $8.99. Save on pre-hung oak interior doors with trim, ready to install with 3 sturdy brass hinges. Choose from 5 sizes starting at just $54.88. Save on doors and more this week at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
It's here. $5 million worth of cars, trucks, and RVs. Auto Show 90 revs up at the new downtown Minneapolis Convention Center. Make tracks.
WCCO-TV is your choice for news in the 90s, for innovative coverage of issues that affect the community, for up-to-the-minute weather and the best local sports coverage. WCCO News, #1 at noon, 5, 6, 10, and weekends, is your choice for news in the 90s.
Well, it's a sorority of sorts, women brought together by a common bond, a love of their sons, and their sons' love of hockey. You see them at every ice garden, arena, and center. They're sometimes drivers.
Bye, guys. You good?
Equipment managers.
We forgot your jersey. You can put it over your helmet?
Decorators.
You want it straight out? Yeah. Oh, okay. I see here. So it doesn't fall on the kids when they're sitting here.
Coaches.
Stay with them, guys! Don't let them get in!
And always cheerleaders.
Way to go, Park! Way to go!
They wear the object of all this attention like badges of honor. Who are these tireless supporters of Minnesota's favorite boys' sport?
Crazy hockey moms. You guys can come and eat.
Cindy Florek is typical of today's hockey moms. For her, husband Bob, sons 11-year-old Jason and 9-year-old Brian, hockey begins early every morning between November and April.
I don't think so.
In this house, we live with a calendar. Everything's got to be color-coded so that every kid knows where, both boys know where they have to be. Bob has one of these calendars at work usually, so he knows, but sometimes all the information doesn't get onto his calendar.
Keeping the schedule straight is not always easy.
You say you were at Osseo?
We're at Brooklyn Park.
You're at Brooklyn Park. You don't
But juggling a hectic schedule isn't the only requirement of a good hockey mom. She must know equipment.
Share my skates.
Okay, I'll take them and drop them off.
Okay.
All right. Bye. He wants a 3/8.
3/8, huh? Okay, got it.
All righty.
She must also have a keen eye for a good hockey deal.
They see dollar signs when they see me coming in the door.
Like most hockey moms, Cindy's commitment to her children's sport goes beyond time spent driving to practices and hours spent in cold ice arenas.
You guys put the stuff... Bob and I discussed, and it chose that because it was so important for me to be involved with the boys' activities and try to maintain some organization in the household, that I would leave my job in floor duty nursing and go take a job where I could work Monday through Friday, daytime hours, so that I could attend their functions on the weekends and we could have a little more family life. Way to go, Casey. Go, Casey. Go, Casey. Try and play defense.
That notion of family is the common bond that holds all hockey moms together.
Moms can talk amongst themselves. I think they're not quite as intense on what their son may become someday. It's more today and right now, and gee, they had fun, and weren't they cute? And no matter how old they get, these are still our babies.
Yes, there's a scene that's duplicated from Roseau to Rochester, Ralph. The most valuable moms. That's why you never see any kids saying, "Hi, Dad," right? It's a good reason. Live from the St. Paul Civic Center, this is continuing coverage of the 1990 State High School Hockey Tournament.
Friday and Saturday, there is only one place to be, at Best Buy's Midnight Special. Because right up to midnight Friday and all day Saturday, you'll find incredible values in every department. Bargains that will make your wallet want to party. Like this RCA TV with MTS stereo sound for just $266.99. Or this Emerson cordless telephone for $39.99. Let your budget boogie Friday till 12 and all day Saturday with Best Buy's Midnight Special.
281,000. You're gonna have to face it. You're addicted to love. Might as well face it. You're addicted to love.
We're in love.
Might as well face it. You're addicted to love. Won't be my last. Well, face it. You're addicted to love. Might as well face it. You're addicted to love. Might as well face it. You're addicted to love.
North Stars Hockey. Be a part of the home ice advantage. We'll give you something to shout about. Bring your camera and take pictures with the North Stars, courtesy of Kodak and KQRS after Saturday afternoon's matchup with the Rangers. Tickets at Ticketmaster.
Find out how far your money can go at TCF. Just open or add to any qualifying account, and you're eligible for low one-way airfares on Midway Airlines. How low? Just $69 to New York, Dallas-Fort Worth, or Atlanta. Contact any TCF office or the connection for details and see how far your money can go.
Murder in a small Minnesota town. The story coming up at 5.
Switching sports very quickly, the Big Ten Championship is on the line Sunday, and Midwest Sports Channel will bring you all the excitement and action live from East Lansing, Michigan. See the Purdue Boilermakers take on the Michigan State Spartans. That's Sunday morning beginning at 11 a.m. on MSC, your cable TV home of the Big Ten basketball tournament. Well, actually, there's another title on the line coming here, Ralph, and one that's going to lead to the state title game tomorrow night here at the St. Paul Civic Center. Let's check in with Scott Reynolds, who's been snooping around between periods again. Scott?
Mark, Coach Greg Rajanen of Anoka gave his team a pep talk, but actually the biggest part of the pep talk was to himself and his coaching staff. He said, we've been getting on the officials a little too much and not really concentrating on our job as coaches. We got to stop that in the third period. They thought more penalties should have been called. And likewise, Coach Ellingson of Grand Rapids told me that in fact, he told his team in the locker room, we're a frustrated team right now. We thought some of those penalties should have been called, and they weren't. We got to concentrate on not being so physical and skating. So both coaches are a little upset with the officiating. They feel that there's not enough whistles right now. And remember, for those of you who thought Anoka wouldn't have a chance in this game, it is the biggest high school in the state, and they've got some great athletes, and they found them and got them on the ice here, looking to go into their first state championship game ever. And Coach Rajanen said, before the game and after both periods, all we wanted was to be in this thing and have a shot in the third, and they got it now, Mark.
Scott, you talk about the athletes on this team, Anoka team, Ralph. There are 5 kids on this high school hockey team that play 3 varsity sports. And that's the way they want it at Anoka. They have the advantage of the big school, but they're a real versatile group of hockey players on this team. All right, thanks much, Scott Reynolds, for that inside information going on between periods. And we're getting ready for the third period, and Ralph was a little noisy as both teams hit the ice here.
They are both very, very psyched up. And, of course, he pointed out that Anoka has never won the championship. A Section 2 finalist has never won a state championship as we go back to the booth for that third and perhaps final period.
Well, tempers are obviously on a boil here, but I think both teams better be careful about penalties in the third period. We saw what happened when Grand Rapids took a penalty late in the second period.
Well, they certainly shouldn't get frustrated. It's too close to the end, and right now the next goal could win this game. It's 2-2 going into the third, and Anoka has got to be feeling great about their chances, and especially about the way they've played this game. Grand Rapids is frustrated, as their coach says. I'm certain that they were more confident coming in, but it's been the forechecking of Anoka and the strong defense that has really thwarted Grand Rapids here today. Chances, scoring chances, probably even. Anoka's had a fine afternoon, and Grand Rapids certainly not playing as smoothly as they did against Kennedy yesterday.
Only 2 Section 2 teams have ever reached the finals. Alexander Ramsey in 1973, Iredale in 1981. As mentioned, no Section 2 team has ever won the championship, but Section 7 has won the most championships. That's the section that Grand Rapids comes from. 15 in all. And we're underway with the third period. Straight up the ice comes Magnuson inside the line. Magnuson's shot goes off the ankle of Tom Worley. Worley with the outlet pass on the right wing. Now it goes into the middle. Here's a chance for Wilson, the shot then. Clint just got a piece of that as Grand Rapids goes to the attack. The big line is out. Wilson, Marinucci, and Kuzi. They go to the boards. It's kicked free by Kuzi, who took quite a hit from Ryman. Centered in front, but Wilson jabbed at it. I think, Lou, that the heavy hitting is going to continue in this game.
It certainly looks like that, and Magnuson was doing a great defensive job down deep on Marinucci. He plays both ends of the ice. Definitely one of the best players in this tournament this far. He's had a great 2 days.
They continue to slug it out as the puck cleared right back in by Echternock. Now Anoka making a line change. Bender is out on the ice. He has his man pinned behind the net. And it's knocked free. Here's a steal by Palumbo. He's been a key man today, but the Indians are able to get it out and move it into the zone. And coming right back with a good defensive play is Johnson. Drops for Palumbo. The shot right on, and Houston holds on as Bender crashes into him.
All those drop passes at the offensive blue line, when you don't know where they're going, they can cost you, and that's what happened to Grand Rapids. A blind drop pass was picked up, turned into a good chance for Anoka. You see the play from Johnson right there, dropping that pass to Palumbo. Palumbo taking a shot, forcing Houston to make the saves, and he gets run into by Bender. Houston got up after that and gave Bender a little piece of his mind.
Earhart on this faceoff against Schwallenberg, who wins the draw. Bart Johnson is checked, comes back to the point. Echternock gets a second chance, and both shots were blocked. Earhart can't find it after making the block, and it's kept in by Echternock. Good play there. Finally flipped out into the center ice zone. Earhart gives chase, but it's Chad Abram with it. He's hauled down. Play continues. David Hollum drops it back. Beltier to Worley, back to Beltier. Now Earhart. Lead pass inside the line. And Anoka breaks that up and starts back. There's a shot. Houston takes it and clears it off to the side. Beltier takes his man down in the corner. And now it's Worley. Out on the far side for Fairchild. Kelly Fairchild in the middle for Earhart. Off his skate, down into Anoka territory. Back to get it is Andy Beisel as Grand Rapids makes a line change. Beisel straight up the ice. He hits center ice. Clears it in. And a line change for Anoka. 12-13 to go.
Anoka's defense are really carrying the puck a lot more today than they did yesterday. They're opening the play up for their forwards. They're not afraid to wheel out of that zone with the puck.
All four of them look very confident in doing so. Here's a chance now for Magnuson. He is stick checked on a good play. McAllister follows up, but it's cleared away by Nobbs. Nobbs has had a solid game on defense for Grand Rapids. Here's Magnuson again. Inside the zone with Peterson. Magnuson behind the net. Ridden into the boards by Marinucci. Good check by Marinucci. And now Marinucci starts out. Can't get it by the defenseman. Here's a chance now for Kuzi, winding up and had his stick lifted by Ryman. Good defensive play. Beisel around the boards, and it slides outside the line.
Both those forwards, Chris, Magnuson and Marinucci, playing physical and playing with smart when they get the puck.
Good pace to the game. Anoka 2, Grand Rapids 2. This is Hockey 90, live from the St. Paul Civic Center.
Over here, 126,000 miles.
Yeah.
addicted to love.
2-2 tie with 11:19 to go in the third. Anoka and Grand Rapids.
Palumbo against Roy on this faceoff. And Anoka controls. Shot in, though, by Grand Rapids. Nielsen on the ice, number 16, a dangerous score. He'll have to be watched. Chad Abram has the puck. And out he comes for the Tornadoes. Another one of the good rushing defensemen, checked from behind. Comes to the near side, and Tyler Echternock clears it in. Pass intercepted at the point, and Johnson got crossed up. Here's Nielsen taking the return pass. Nielsen shooting, and it's kicked out nicely. Back the other way comes Bender. Matt Bender winds up the shot right on. Houston had it. Beltier. Cross to Worley. Up ahead, too far for Nielsen, who couldn't control. Echternock, lead pass. Palumbo brought it down nicely from about waist level to Johnson. Here's Johnson in, and the shot from a sharp angle covered by Houston. They pile up in the corner and get a face-off. There's a break in the action. We'll be right back with the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
Find out how far your money can go at TCF Bank and earn low one-way airfares on Midway Airlines. Contact TCF for details.
Anoka continuing to take it to Grand Rapids, getting a good opportunity there from Johnson.
Third line's out on the ice for both teams, and there's a hit by Schwallenberg in the center ice zone. Indians have the puck, though, and get it inside the line. Cleared back out. David Myers fighting for it, so is Schwallenberg. And for the Indians, up with it's Holm. Holm inside with Galatz, and the play broken up by Ryman. He's had a strong game. Dan Ryman with Schwallenberg. They hit the line. Offside is the call.
Ryman's got a good knack of blocking shots. He not only blocks them well, he blocks them on one knee, so he's in control. If you notice, when he's blocking a shot, he's right back up after. He doesn't go sprawling, which really takes an individual out of the play, even if he blocks a shot. Dan Ryman playing very smart. When he blocks that shot, he's able to come out of that zone with the puck and move it up ice.
Well, the #1 team in the state has its hands full with Anoka. 2-2, 9:45 left regulation time. Grand Rapids needed overtime yesterday to get by Kennedy. And Anoka had the 2-1 victory over South St. Paul.
In games like this, your big players should come up big. So you've got to look to Marinucci and Nielsen on Grand Rapids and Magnuson on Anoka to be the ones that either set up the play or score the goal. And we're taking a look at Magnuson right now, playing head-to-head against Marinucci all afternoon.
The big lines are out. Echternock. Oh, a big hit in the center ice zone. Magnuson was leveled by Worley. Magnuson lost his glove. Here they come breaking in. Kuzi, the deflection shot, and covered nicely by Adam Flint. Close call there. A break in the action, and we'll be right back with the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
Miller High Life presents Minnesota's largest home and patio show, Wednesday, March 14th through Sunday, the 18th at the St. Paul Civic Center. The Home and Patio Show. Over 750 booths. Don't miss it.
Anoka fans aren't going to like this. Magnuson looking for a pass. It doesn't get it, but he does get hit. And some people might say it's interference, but right now the officials are keeping him level. They're calling them the same each way. But a heavy hit by Worley on Magnuson there. And you can expect Magnuson's going to be paid special attention by this Grand Rapids Hockey Club.
Another important face-off, Magnuson and Marinucci. They'll get a lot of ice time in this third period. Magnuson wins the draw, taken down, but he gets it outside the line. Peterson ahead to McAllister. McAllister lost control, and Chris Beltier takes over. Right side for Kuzi. Kuzi draped against the boards right in front of the penalty box. You can hear the blades and the sticks battling for possession there. Peterson to Magnuson. Here's a break. McAllister's in. And a big stop there by Houston, robbing Dan McAllister.
Magnuson stole the puck just inside the blue line, knocked it ahead to a streaking McAllister. McAllister got in close, but Houston with another fine save, and he sure looks much more confident today than yesterday. Here's McAllister on that pass ahead from Magnuson. Goes in all alone, tries to get up and over, didn't get it up high enough, and Houston keeps this game tied at 2.
Goaltenders are on the spot now with 8:53 to go. From the faceoff, Bender's shot deflects high over the net. In the corner, it's Johnson fighting for it. He's had a strong game, 21, Brent Johnson. Still forechecking. Brian Knobs turns away. Bender takes his man into the glass, and the puck comes out to center. Bender trapped offside as the puck is cleared in. He checks up and now comes back into forecheck. Puck is cleared, and here's a break. Kelly Fairchild almost had a breakaway. Puck is centered in front, and it's Colombo back. Up ahead, Knobs tried to step into Johnson, and the puck went by him. Worley to Brian Knobs. Lead pass, and that just failed to click as Fairchild's cruising in the center ice zone. Number 12, Ryman, knocked down. Gets back up, trying to maintain possession, and does. Number 16's had a strong game, and out he comes, Dan Ryman. Going down deep, Colombo's in front. Ryman watched by Worley. And he'll bottle it up for a face-off. 7:41 to go with the score. Anoka 2, Grand Rapids 2. This is Hockey 90, live from the St. Paul Civic Center.
Find out how far your money can go at TCF. Just open or add to any qualifying account, and you're eligible for low one-way airfares on Midway Airlines. Like $69 to Dallas-Fort Worth, $109 to Florida, and just $119 to Phoenix. Contact any TCF office or the connection for details and see how far your money can go.
From the face-off deep in Grand Rapids territory, up with it come the Tornadoes. Puck is now stolen, and Earhart gets it out to center. Earhart along with Galatz and Olaf out for Grand Rapids. Earhart sidestepped to check and maintains his balance. Good hustle there. Trying to get it inside the line, and it's offside as Galatz didn't see Earhart ahead of him.
And Grand Rapids changed their line somewhat from yesterday, Chris. They moved Roy into the middle, pulled Fairchild up on that line, and then put Earhart with Holm and Galatz. Maybe figuring they're going to go with 2 real big physical lines and scoring lines and try and match up the third lines evenly. Anoka, however, continued that strong forecheck, very aggressive forechecking.
Schwallenberg on the face-off, and the whistle blows. They weren't set properly.
.7:11 to go, still 2-2. The next goal sure looks like it's going to be enough.
At the blue line, it's cleared in on Flint. He looks very cautious.
He had plenty of time to play that puck down to Achternock. Achternock had no one around him. He could wheel it and get it out. You don't want to start taking too many draws in your own zone when you've got time to play that puck and go out, especially the way Anoka's moving. They're skating real well. The defensemen are coming with that puck. They're making plays. If nothing opens up, they go with it.
Earhart on this draw against Schwallenberg. Achternock moving now. And from the draw, Grand Rapids gets it. Knobs lost control, and here's Bart Johnson. Johnson has a break. Moving in. Johnson with the shot, and he crashed into the net. Houston made the save.
Good move by Johnson. He looked like he was going to get caught, but he just leaned away from the check. Was on his forehand coming from the left side after he stole the puck at the blue line. And Houston, again, makes a great save. He looks at the man coming. He's going to lean in now, right here. What a good save by Houston. Johnson ran into the net, but he seems to be okay.
That's Mark Johnson, the younger Johnson brother on the team. He's a sophomore. Brent Johnson is number 21. The older brother is senior, and he has had a strong game.
Houston's been tested this period. 2 men in on him all alone. He's had to make real good saves to keep Rapids tied at 2.
Magnuson back out there against Marinucci. From the faceoff, Marinucci gets it ahead to Kuzi. Knocked down into Anoka territory. Back to get it, Faisal. Handed it away, centered in front. Magnuson there. Marinucci's there. And Adam Flint poke-checked it away from Marinucci. Magnuson goes down under the checking of Marinucci. The two big center icemen at it again, and there's Kuzi helping out. Troy Kuzi takes a hit. Gets away from Ryman. Kuzi trying to center. He's knocked down on the play. Body sprawling, and Peterson has it. Up ahead to McAllister. Peterson in full flight down the right side. Up against Bartel, and he was knocked down. Peterson forechecking, and it's cleared out to center. Down to 6 minutes, 2 seconds to go as play is whistled down. A break in the action. We'll be right back with the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
How many mites can you get in a Suburban from GMC Truck? 1. Entire team.
Face off deep in Anoka zone, but Anoka forwards are skating with reckless abandon. They're skating real well. They just seem to have more jump in their feet right now than Grand Rapids has.
Referees have called the players in for a little conference.
Well, they had each of the teams pull down the player, and one by the Anoka zone and another by Grand Rapids net. And I'm sure the referees are saying, look, let's continue to play this well, but don't take extra liberties or we're going to call it.
They have tested the patience of the officials in this third period, and you wonder at what point the officials will make a call.
You know, the defense on both teams, but especially Grand Rapids, have not been getting the puck through to the net in the last 2 periods. The draws are being won, the point men are getting shots, and they're getting them blocked, or they're getting the puck stripped from them. They've got to keep the puck in the zone, number 1, and number 2, if they can, get the shot on the net.
Roy against Palumbo on the draw, and it is controlled by Anoka. Palumbo breaking. Bender trying to get him the puck, and Bender takes his man down. He's been very physical in this third period. Now Knobs going down deep in the zone for Grand Rapids, trying to tie it up. He's in there against Echternock, and they get a face-off, and it will come to the right of goaltender Adam Flint.
You can expect the teams to really hold the puck along the boards now. They're going to fight for that puck. You see a good check right there by Anoka, and then a second one after. But you can expect the forwards to go in the corners hard, and the defense, when they come over, they're going to try and tie up the man and tie up the puck. The one thing you don't want to happen now is let a man slip away from you deep in the corner, because then you're outnumbered in front of the net. So both clubs will probably take a lot of whistles in the corners if the referees are going to blow them quickly.
Roy, Nielsen, and Fairchild, the line for Grand Rapids. Against Palumbo, Johnson, and Bender. There's the shot from the point. It's blocked. Roy centers it, and Nielsen just missed tipping it. And it's cleared down the ice. And this will be icing against Anoka. 5:26 left in regulation time.
Another opportunity to get that shot in the net was blocked in front. Fortunately for Grand Rapids, Roy was able to jump on and try to center it across to Nielsen for a shot. Wasn't able to connect, but Grand Rapids winning a lot of draws this time in Anoka's zone. Anoka's got to bear down and win that draw. It's crucial to win the draws in your own zone. Get puck control.
This time it'll be Brent Johnson on the face-off, and Roy wins it again, but now Johnson recovers and takes the puck out. Left wing pass for Palumbo. Lost it in his skates, and oh, he took quite a shot from Beltier.
Beltier 6'3", 6'1", and 200, and as you were saying, Palumbo might be 130 pounds, 125.
5'6", so you've got a 9-inch height difference, but Palumbo's up and has the puck. Here's Johnson shooting right on, and Houston covers up.
I'll tell you, this line for Anoka has had a great afternoon. Palumbo and Johnson. Yesterday, Bender got the big goal in the first game against South St. Paul, but Palumbo and Johnson combining this afternoon for a number of chances. Here's another one for Johnson. Houston has to make the save. That second line of Anoka has given him a great tournament.
Troy Seibert comes out number 3, his first shift of the game. Imagine under 5 minutes to go in the semifinal, and a tie game, and Seibert 3 is out for the first time. So he's in a pressure cooker now as Schwallenberg takes his man into the bench boards. Cleared out to center. Brian Knobs fires it back in. Echternock couldn't control. Galatz going after it, number 8 for Grand Rapids. Off the boards, and up it comes. Seibert dumps it in. David Myers goes after it. Seibert is out because Johnson must have been shaken up when he went crashing into the goal net.
Yeah, he was favoring his knee, Chris, and that's why Seibert got a shift. Seibert had 1 in the first period when it was 4-4, and then it was 5-4 actually. He was killing the penalty, and got about 30 seconds, and that's all he's had.
Back it goes for Chad Abram. Both teams have made changes. Lead pass at center with under 4 minutes to go now. Cleared back into Anoka territory. One mistake could cost a team a trip to the final now. Abram bringing it out and clearing it in. Another quick change for Anoka. They're really coming over the boards quickly now. Peterson is down. Magnuson's on the ice. Magnuson taken down. McAllister helps out. Dan McAllister to Magnuson. Watched by Beltier. Now Peterson against the boards. Tries to dump it back in the corner. And the two teams appear to be slowing down a bit now.
Well, they've been going at a pretty good pace. We've had a great game here this afternoon. Much closer than anyone expected.
Here's Magnuson with the steal. McAllister shooting, and it rolled to Houston on a changeup, and Houston made the stop.
Houston had made the move, and the puck hadn't got there yet. Fortunately, went right into him. Had that been just a little more to his left, it might have gone into the net. But watch, here's McAllister coming in. The puck gets deflected. He's already down. Just rolled to the inside of his pad. Good play by the defenseman to get a stick on it. It could have gone up and over the pad. But Anoka continuing to come at Grand Rapids, and that with only 3:03 to go, they've got to be feeling good and confident.
Don't forget, tonight it's Burnsville and White Bear Lake in our first consolation game, and then the championship side with the Roseau Rams taking on the Minnetonka Skippers. This one long way from being over, though. Palumbo dumping it back in. Palumbo, Johnson, and Bender. Here's big Jeff Nielsen. Centers it out in front. Comes back to Brian Knobs. Across it goes to Retka. Winding up, the shot deflecting high and out of play.
They're going to have to stop using that slap shot. It takes a little too much time, and it's giving the defender a chance to come and block that shot. Knobs made a great play. He was going to shoot it. Someone fell in front of him, so he slid it across to his defense partner. The defense partner took a little too much time to get the shot away and gets deflected over the glass.
That is the second line for Anoka that's done the big damage, and they're out there right now. Palumbo, Johnson, and Bender. Here's a chance for Nielsen. In front. There's a shot to hit the goal post. Fairchild hit the goal post. He was signaling a goal. Back comes Palumbo. Palumbo cut off by Retka. Oh boy, Kelly Fairchild had a great scoring opportunity. That could have been it. Oh, a big collision between Nielsen and Ryman. Both of them maintain their balance. Around the boards it goes. Bender. Oh, just skied it away, and Roy sets it up in front. Cleared away. Bender was looking for the big hit and forgot to go after the puck that time. It's up to Nielsen. Can't control the pass. And offside is the call. 1:55 to go, and Kelly Fairchild thinking about what might have been.
Well, he had his arms in the air as we see a little frustration taking place on the ice. A good play, and he comes in, makes a move to his forehand. He had the goalie beat, hits it right off the pipe and slides across the crease behind the goaltender. It was a fine pass from Nielsen to Fairchild. Fairchild walked in and made a great move to his forehand, right off the pipe.
Fairchild had a couple of goals in the section final victory over International Falls, 7-3. He's a transfer from Hibbing. Puck cleared back into Anoka territory, and I don't think many people expected that with 2 minutes to go, these two teams would be tied. Here comes Magnuson. Magnuson hits the line, taken down, the helmet off. Oh boy, was he hit hard.
And over on the right side, Peterson was getting a little upset with Beltier. Magnuson has got great speed, but he comes over that blue line, just drops his head long enough to get checked pretty hard by Worley.
Well, these two teams certainly respect each other, and at this point I'm not sure they're very fond of each other. It's been a tough afternoon. Oh, another huge hit by Beltier, and again off comes the helmet of Magnuson. Here comes Kuzi with the shot. It's blocked by Ryman, and there's a Ryman tackle in the corner, and the official had to call something, and I don't think there's much question about that, as Ryman tackled his man, perhaps out of frustration at the way Magnuson had been hit.
Well, Magnuson took two heavy hits. The last one knocked him, he went right off the ice because he lost his helmet, and then you see down in the corner when Ryman just puts his arm right around the neck and going to get a penalty, in the crowd a little upset, but he has to call it because he pulled Marinucci right down.
And this is a critical penalty. 1:23 to go, regulation time. Grand Rapids 2 for 7 on the power play in the tournament, and they're going after what would likely be the game-winning goal at this point.
Unfortunate penalty for Ryman, because he's been one of the outstanding players this afternoon for Anoka. As a matter of fact, over the two-day tournament, he's been one of their better players. They not only miss him killing penalties, they get shorthanded. So 1:23 to go in regulation time, tied at 2. Grand Rapids on the power play.
And you know the big guns will be out there. Kuzi's there, along with Adam Roy, Jeff Nielsen, Tom Worley, and Chris Marinucci. Grand Rapids came very close to getting the go-ahead goal moments ago.
Look at the move by Fairchild, going to his forehand and just putting it off the pipe. He had raised his hands after that. He thought after it hit the pipe it slid in, but it didn't.
He almost got both posts. There's your attendance here halfway through the tournament. 15-7 on hand this afternoon, and I don't think anybody's gone home. Power play begins, and they get it back to Marinucci, dumping it into the corner. After it, there's Beisel. Beisel lost control to Roy. Nielsen looking in front, and it goes through the goal crease.
Rapids continuing to try it down low when they got those points open.
Beisel now fighting for it. And Worley manning the points, under a minute to go in regulation time. Now they get it back to Worley, and he passed it outside the line. They'll have to regroup. 50 seconds to go. And back in they come. It's Nielsen shooting. Nice pad save by Adam Flint. Nielsen, one of the most dangerous scorers in the state. Kuzi behind the goal. Comes back to Marinucci, hopped over his stick. 30 seconds to go in regulation time. Marinucci will set it up. Johnson forechecking. Out it comes to Kuzi, lost control. And it's McAllister with the shot. Hit his teammate. Remember, McAllister scored shorthanded in the section final, but here comes Kuzi. Shooting. Pad save. Knocked away by Echternach. Grand Rapids maintains control. 5 seconds to go. Kuzi trying to center it. And we are going to overtime. Winning one of them and then losing the second. 8 minutes of sudden death overtime scheduled before The two teams will go to the dressing rooms if this game remains tied.
Each of these clubs using just 4 defensemen. Both sides getting strong performances from all 4. As we look at Houston, who was tested more than Flint that period, he was tested twice all alone. Had to make the saves to keep this game tied.
Magnuson and McAllister are the penalty killers. 37 seconds remaining in the Ryman penalty, and Magnuson almost broke in there. Kuzi lost control, and it's cleared by Echternach down the ice, and Marinucci goes back to get it. Magnuson taken down, and Marinucci beats another man. Here come 4 Grand Rapids Indians, and offsides the call as Nielsen missed the pass at the blue line. 20 seconds left in the power play.
Had Nielsen got that, they had a good opportunity to drive to the net. Both he and the left wing, Wilson, were open. Only one defenseman back. He reached back for the pass and misplayed it. Didn't get it and got it in his skate.
Well, talking to many people before the game, they thought Grand Rapids was a 2-goal pick this afternoon, but this has been everything we wanted and more. Here comes Nielsen. Centering it. Kuzi shot off a leg wide. Nielsen has it again. Puts it in front, and Adam Roy just missed. Roy in the corner again. It goes by him. Echternach after it against Nielsen. Echternach tying it up, and now back on the ice is Ryman. The two teams at full strength. Puck cleared to the line, but kept in by the Indians. Anoka has killed the penalty. They are back at full strength. Lead pass for Magnuson. He takes a bump, but keeps going. Here's Magnuson with McAllister. Magnuson now taken down. And it's Knobs clearing it around the boards. Kelly Fairchild trying to feed it ahead. Kept in, and another solid collision. Boy, these two teams have been belting each other. Now it's Marinucci inside the line with the shot steered away by Adam Flint. The goaltenders, Flint and Houston, on the spot now. And they tie it up for a face-off. 6:31 left in the overtime. There's a break in the action, and we'll be right back with the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
This is your new Sonoma from GMC Truck. It's a great little truck with the biggest engine in its class. Go get one at your Vikingland GMC truck dealer.
Jeff Nielsen threaded a pass through to Adam Roy at the doorstep of the Anoka goal, but he missed it right there with the yawning net wide open, which could have ended it on the power play for Rapids. But 6:31 to go in the overtime period, tied at 2.
From the face-off, Grand Rapids wins it. Beltier's shot deflects over the glass and into the crowd. And they'll do it again.
Rapids continuing to win those draws in the offensive zone. Be costly to Anoka. Continues. As you said, Chris, heavy hitting has been on both sides throughout the whole game and into the overtime. Even though the clubs might be a little tired skating-wise, they're not laying off the body.
This time Anoka wins the face-off. It's Beisel. Around the boards, kept in at the point. Here's a chance in front. Fairchild scores! .44 of overtime. Kelly Fairchild with the goal. Adam Flint didn't have a chance.
He took the initial shot. It was stopped by a defenseman's skate. It hit the skate and went right back to him, and he shot again and just hit the corner. Flint, who's played an outstanding game here today for Anoka, had no chance in that goal as Grand Rapids advances to the finals with a 3-2 win over Anoka.